Hello, folks. Well, last week my friend Rick Stanton here in town gave me his old Hogs mini storm launcher. You know, the props weren't broke, so I decided to go ahead and show it to you. And since we're talking about storm launchers, I thought I'd go ahead and show you the big one too. Well, Mike Moody, Semper Fi Mike, also from here, gave me his big storm launcher after our fire a couple years ago. I restored it back then, but since there were no props that could be found, I didn't have good luck as the stock props were brittle and exploded first time I tried it. Well, today I decided to put some quadcopter props on it. Since counter-rotating props are abundant these days and there were no drones back in 2007, it was hard back then to find two matching props since one has to be counter-rotating. So here's a few interesting things about them and what I did to make them fly again. Here we go. Hello, folks. Well, 13 years ago, I think it was, I began flying the storm launchers, one of my favorite flying machines from Hogs. And the problem with them was that, to me, always one motor had more bias than the other. The way this thing steers is it speeds up and slows down one motor or another in order to steer, but there was always a right turn in it. I had tried putting tabs on the elevator, that didn't work. And also the mini storm launcher. Now the mini storm launcher was pretty easy to fix. All I did was replace the battery in this one, and we're going to go out and we're going to give this a little try. This is the little one. There is no elevator on this, where there is an elevator on this one. So what I did to compensate was, first of all, I had to find some props, because once the props are broken on these things, you can't replace them anymore. So I found some reverse pitch props. I reversed the wires on the motors. These are not brushless motors, so that they spin the other way and the props work the right direction. And then I shortened one blade a little bit more than the other blade, so I have a better bias when it's flying. The way the battery goes in on this is, I'll show you how this works. Let me turn this on. Also, it works better to fly this in the novice mode. Let's go ahead and plug this in. Okay, so now you can see I have elevator here. Okay, the way this starts, arm the motors, is by pushing this button. You all remember this. Okay, now it's armed, so we're all ready to go. That's basically how it all works. It's a light little machine. Now I replaced the battery inside this one. Okay, one of the things about the storm launchers, if you hit the ground or you put too much strain on this, the motors actually shut off. So you can't put too much of a prop on it, because more of a prop will make it quit right away. And like I said, I have taken and I have cut off a little bit longer, so I have one prop that's longer than the other prop, and that will give me more of a straight line to compensate for the problems these things had in the very beginning. So let's go out and see how this thing goes. I think it needs a little more left. Whatever that means. It actually does pretty good, you know. go, folks. The mini storm launcher by Hogs. I cut the top stabilizer off because I think that's a problem in the wind, as we always did. And let's go ahead and turn this thing on. Got some sunshine for a change, which feels nice. Start these motors. Okay. Let's see what we can do here. The storm launchers were a bit tricky to fly, jockeying throttles and individual motors while working the elevator, being careful not to use too much power. It's a balancing act, but once a person figured it out, it was just as easy as you see, even in this wind. Those that didn't take the time to figure out how it worked probably didn't have such a good time, but I always loved these things. And yes, you can take off and land on water with the big one. I'd show you that, but the water's still frozen here. And there you go. It's flying pretty good. Well, I hope you enjoyed seeing these two machines from the past, as it's easy to forget history. So please subscribe to my channel and make sure to click the bell to be notified for the next production. And thanks very kindly. This is the NightFlyyer, signing off for now.
Goodbye.